What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Detroit Love, with a live video. Today, we're just going to take a look at a few different things here. iArcade came out with the WrestleMania wrestling game, and I bought that and had a little time to play with it. I also want to talk about the Countercades, that the new versions that are available for pre-sale at Target. A little bit of Oculus, and so let's get started. All right, guys. So I didn't plan to go live. You know how I do it. I just get on and do what I want to do when I feel like doing it. So let's just jump into it. So the iArcade came out with the WrestleMania, and I was offered, opportunity to get it for free. They do that from time to time to us YouTubers, but I wanted to pay for it because one, I want to support Jong and the team over there to keep doing the same, more of the same. What up, Steve? What up, Adam X? Welcome, guys. I want them to keep making and producing great games, no matter what the cost, right? And so let me just bring that up here. WrestleMania, and I'll tell you firsthand. I've never been a huge wrestling fan. I just I just enjoy arcade games, and I specifically bought the iArcade cabinet because they would offer some things that others wouldn't be able to produce or to offer. Let me just mute this phone here. And I love to play on the arcade. Thanks, guys. It's good to see you guys. I appreciate you guys coming on and check me out live here. I don't do this often, but I wanted to do something this weekend. Yeah. So let me just put that up there. Yep. If I don't have the subscriber base that a lot of the other channels do, so I don't get offered a whole lot of free things. So when I do get offered some free things, I love to take it, right? But I specifically wanted to pay for this just to show the support. So they asked me, and I replied, "No, I already bought it, but thanks for the offer. Don't forget about me in future things." But specifically, this is one of the more expensive games, and so I did want to show the support. Because if you bring a great game on, I want to be like the rest of the community, where it's a choice to say, hey, do I want to pay for that game? Now, granted, my image, as long as well as a lot of the other YouTubers, are on one of the particular boards, and that has some. I have a bias, right, to a degree for that. But even though I still could have took it for free, right? But I wanted to show support. I played around with it earlier today. I'm going to probably produce. I don't know if I'm going to produce a video on my page about it just yet. But let me just start this here. Can I share the screen and just show you a little bit of play? Share screen. I guess it's the same screen. So I'm just going to make that larger. And I really, am terrible. I've always been terrible with these wrestling games. I just get my butt whipped. No shame in my game. you know, the moves. I just never, even with Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, I don't study the moves. I don't know how to do all the special moves and things like that. I'm a button masher. And I just enjoy playing. When guys come over, you know, I want to have some different games that they can play that's different. Yeah, I'm just not. I've just never been. I know Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, and do you smell what the Rock is cooking? Those guys. What up, Thomas B? But I have never. I mean, I got one friend, George. He is a die-hard wrestling fan. I mean, he religiously knows when all the shows are going to come on, and he plans his week, with it. Um, you know, I've never quite understood that. But again, I'm sure they'll say the same thing about me regarding technology, and I'll do all kinds of crazy stuff. Um, and I'm the same way, Adam. I just enjoy playing. And in this video, I was saying, and you guys can hear me fine, right? Because I don't think this. I don't know if this video mutes me or anything. Um, but I don't try to play all of the games to be on the leaderboards and be the best at it. The only time I even consider that is with uh, your average gamers tournaments. Um, but most of the time, I come up and I turn on and play some Pac-Man or play some Galaga or play some um, Golden Tee or play some Spider-Man. You know, I just enjoy playing for that minute. I may play for a few seconds and move on. I may play for an hour, um, but I just like playing video games. And so you can see here, I got whooped. Now for this game, in order to be able to see the Super Game Room dudes, we're in the lower right hand corner off screen. So you would have to get out of the ring and to be able to stay out the ring long enough to go over there into that area where the tech buzz guy the tech buzz guys, they're right in a prominent spot. So as you're fighting, you get to see those guys. So that's pretty cool. It's funny because when they were doing that, none of us really thought about the placement, um, but we thought, oh man, we're in a cool spot right there, center ring, VIP. But that portion is on the screen until you actually get out of the ring. Says pinball. I try very hard to get better at it. I do use leaderboards to inspire me to get higher scores and get better. Fighting games, not so much. Yeah. With the pinball, with the FX3 tournaments, that's just a nice feature. Um, I haven't really been inspired to do so with the at games leaders board just yet. I'm sort of in this. I have to get a computer together, and so I haven't the X Games. I haven't really been messing around with it because I got to get over this hump of getting that computer together. I have all the parts that I need. I just minus the computer. So let me. What is this stuff here? All right. What else you guys say here? Yeah, I was getting my butt whooped on that. Wasn't any chance. And they kept saying I was doing something too early. I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm trying to grab them too early, and maybe I'm trying to throw them down. I'm just mashing buttons, and it'll take me a while to really figure out what combination moves, what characters work. And I wanted to talk about these countercades. That there's three of them. There's the Pac-Man / Galaga, and then there's the Miss Pac-Man, and then there's the Super Pac-Man. Now, all of these games are available on previously released Countercades. But the significant thing to me, yeah, I think that's what it is. I think I'm trying to grapple too early when I hadn't gotten them beat them down. I hadn't beaten them down. But that whole mechanics of it, you have to line up these characters, and that's why I'm not really a big fan of the beat 'em up games, the side-scrolling beat 'em up games, for the same reason. You have to be lined up with these characters, right, at the perfect alignment to actually hit them, and I waste a whole lot of time off-centered, with those characters. So it's pretty funny to see. Now, so you guys, Thomas, Steve, Adam, any of you guys have a Countercade currently? Let me know. I know it's a little delay here. I've always said I wasn't a big fan of them, and I like the direction that they're taking because they're listening. They did the same thing with these as they did with the Generation 1 and even 2 of the with the 3/4 scale. They came out with no backlit marquees, and then they learned from the community that we wanted those, and so they should have already known that with these. No Countercades from Thomas. Hey Dylan, how you doing, brother? No Countercades from Adam. And I wasn't a big fan of the Countercades, but I've come to like them a lot. But the reason I like them a lot, they Arcade 1-Up still hasn't done. They still haven't made these things portable. If you think about all the competing products, the competing products that allow you to play these games that are portable, they're battery operated, right? And that's they have to make these things battery operated, and I think with the battery operation power, then that price set of $150 becomes really nice. So you see here I have my Galaga, and it's battery operated. Oh, I got the door open. It's battery operated, no cables. You see I got a cord here I can charge the battery with, but man, to have that battery operated just changes the game. So here's Miss Pac-Man, battery operated, no cords plugging into anything. I got the Galaga for I think $50. But so you're saying, hey, what up, Dick? You're saying small hands, but this is the. I mean, your hands are going to be off, but your fingers are going to be on. I mean, I don't have a problem with the size of the controls because the buttons and the controls are the same exact size, right? I mean, they're not. It's not a smaller joystick. Well, see, Adam says it seems so expensive for what it is and how small it is, and now that you pointed out, it's not battery operated, so it's a no-go. I mean, it's real easy to add a battery to it, so that's not a big issue, and very inexpensively, which brings it to the fact that they should just do it without us having to do it. But I tell you, these things being battery operated changes the game, because my biggest issue and opposition for it, what up, Bobby Broadway, was to my opposition was that I don't always have a whole lot of free space on my desktop, on any of my surfaces, and so that's a challenge in just finding the proper space and height for you to be able to put this somewhere and actually play it. And so that's a challenge in itself. But then you add on the fact that you have to find a power source to be able to plug it in once you find this perfect spot. And so those two elements together goes against Countercade. Now I have a cousin and his brother-in-law has a really nice basement bar. He's been looking to get some one of these arcades, and I recommend the Countercade for his setup because he don't have a whole lot of room down there, and even a 3/4 scale will take away from uh, his environment. But the Countercade up on one end of the bar, and you can move it around as other people want to play. And if it was battery operated, man, it's a perfect setup. It's a perfect machine for those environments, and it's like the perfect height with this bar. Um, so so I'm saying all this to say that the battery operated is cool, but the backlit marquee to me uh, is a mandatory feature, and so I'm glad to see that I paid I think 149 for the Miss Pac-Man 4 games. All the new ones have at least 4 games, um, but they now have a backlit marquee for that same price. So they didn't raise the price. Um, they didn't raise the price, and now they've included the backlit marquee. So the next step for them is to add that battery so that it's totally portable, and that would make a huge difference at this price set for the majority of people. Even if you went up to 175, I don't think it would be a bad deal. But the nice thing about these things is you can take this. I've taken my 3/4 scale machines places, but then you risk it getting broken and all those type of things as you move it and keep moving it. Even though it's light, the 3/4 is light enough for one person to carry. It's still not the easiest thing to do, especially if you have a riser on it. But these things you can take to a party or a get together, a family outing, even to the. I saw this picture on one of the boards today where someone had an arcade one up, and it was on the beach, and they had under a tent, and they were playing. I think it was a Pac-Man, and someone made the joke that those cabinets that sunk in a ship are starting to wash ashore. But even though you would see in that picture, it was something that someone did. This is more practical to move and bring with you in different environments. What up, Meatball Saucy? We're saying here tons of sit-down card games. It'd be cool if someone like buy more, build something like a pedestal. Yeah, I definitely like Gene over there at the Mad Dad's Gaming. He made that first pedestal for the Countercades, and I know now there's a few people starting to do it. I think Tulsa Arcade is working on one, and I think the Canadian Buy Stuff store may do something. I like the idea. What I wanted personally, and no one has. I would like to, because I have the Galaga and the Miss Pac-Man. I would like to have a Countercade stand that has Miss Pac-Man on one side and Galaga on the other side, and where I can swap out the top. And then on the back, I like to have a storage area where I can store one of the two. And so I can just pull out one and put it on the top of the pedestal to play. I think that would be pretty cool. Okay, Space Bummer. I don't even think I've played that game yet. See, Meatball, you are always shooting to get the high scores. I never shoot to get the high score. If I play Space Bummer, my high score would be like 90,000 tops. But congratulations, man. I'm always seeing your names on the boards. Says someone did a linked card game and Mad Dad's made a link to Fighter Cab, Double Cab. Okay, I'll have to check that out. So I'm glad that Arcade One Up has added the backlit marquee. Now they just need to add that battery. I don't know about these driving cabs. I don't like that bench seat. If I was going to buy one, it would definitely have to be 3/4 scale. I don't want to have the huge full size driving cab, but I would like for it to be like you guys have seen where people have made the Space Invader, not Space Invaders, the Star Wars one, and made it look like a full capsule. Um, I would love to see something similar to that, where it's actually made to look like a, more like a car, with even if it just had stickers of wheels on the front and back. It just bugs me that they don't even try to make those sit down driving carts look like, hey, what up, Mad Dad's Gaming? To even make it look like it's a vehicle. That just bugs me, and I'm not one to say my cabins have to look like the original. But now that they're doing it, sure, go ahead and do it. Hey, Mad Dads, I was just saying that I love that pedestal that you made, and other people are starting to copy that. Now, if any of you guys are interested in coming on live with me, just let me know. Message me on Facebook. I'll send you the link. Let me just get that ready just in case anybody wants to do that. Just let me know. Get over there just in case one of you guys do message me. But let me know in these comments if you're interested, and I can do that. So what's been going on? Because you guys spend more time than I do on these forums and groups and things. All year round, I don't spend a whole lot of time. I come in, I glance. I'm always just seeing the tip of the iceberg. And definitely with the summertime here, I'm outside more than anything. So I looked up and I was like, man, it's late already. I didn't realize it was this late. And I'm working from home tomorrow, luckily. So, I don't have to retire too early. But man, this day just flew by. Yeah, I got my shirt all dirty. My wife wanted me to go out there in the yard and top off some dirt in her gardens, and I had to replace a couple of sprinkler heads. So look, when I was on vacation, it looked like some kid either ran his bike into one of my things or some ignorant adult just broke it on purpose. Who knows? But the front one, someone bent the riser spray riser on that, and the other one I clipped with my lawnmower. So I had to replace out those heads on the sprinkler system, and it's pretty easy to do. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, if you have sprinkler systems, but they're pretty easy to switch out. But yeah, this day just snuck by me today. So what else? I did a video on Oculus Quest playing the 4 VR bowling game. And hey, what's going on? What's going on? I appreciate you guys stopping in, chatting with me. So what's on you guys' mind? What you guys been doing in the tech world or the arcade world? Anybody added any new machines to their collection? I'm talking about this garden. I still got these knee guards on. Yeah, the bowling game. So there's 2 bowling games that I like. Well, there's a third one that's more like a Wii game where you're in this arena. You get to play baseball. There's three games I can remember. Maybe it's tennis, bowling, and baseball. But with the bowling, it's like mix them up. It's called sports something, and you might throw a watermelon down the lane or a tennis ball or one of those things from Canada where you throw it on ice and they're sweeping in front of it, whatever that thing's called. You're just throwing all these crazy random things down. Uh, and so that was just a little too silly for me. But premium bowling and 4VR bowl are pretty cool. I thought the premium bowling, the mechanics for me, I seem to be more successful with bowling down the lane straight with the premium. Though I just didn't like that they show the controllers instead of showing your hands picking up the balls. I just thought that was just too cheesy. It's just don't call yourself premium bowling if you can't even fork out for to show my hands. So I just thought that was really silly, and so I asked for the refund and got that, and then I bought the other one. What are you saying here? Pinball. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Now I haven't. I mean, I have played the FX2 VR and then the not Space Invader, Star Wars one. I think I was lined up wrong or something, so I had to go back and play it more. But I just wasn't feeling it for some reason. So what was that? Have I tried any of the Star Wars? I have. I did do the thing that Pete Dubs was playing as the Vader Immortals. I just played it for a second. I'm just not a huge Star Wars fan. Obviously, I grew up with Star Wars all around me. I don't think I've watched any of the movies all the way through. At one point in time, I did buy the computer game with the racer with the little boy. Can't think of his name. And they had the racing game, and I still got the big giant joystick that you control that crap with. I think that's the only thing I ever bought that was like Star Wars game related over the years. And I really did like playing that. I like to see that in the virtual world. So I have played, but I have it side loaded. I don't know if you know what that means, where you can load games on it. So the only bad thing about it is I add so many games I don't really get a chance to really appreciate. Yeah, Pod Racer, that's what it was. That was a pretty cool game, and I had that on my computer way back in the day. So I stopped adding games, and I just had to start focusing and playing the games that I have. Nostalgia is always talking about Super Hot, which I did play that before. I tried playing again last night, and I'm stuck in this loop where I can't get past this one point and keep having to repeat I think I'm like one slap away from moving on to the next level, but I keep having to repeat it because I keep failing at this one point. So I just got frustrated, and so I stopped playing that. But the VR, man, it's just now I don't know. They have the Quest 1, and they got the Quest 2, and then they have the Quest Rift or something where you can play on your PC. So I know my brother has the Quest 1, and it's changed significantly from 1 to 2, but he just didn't explain it very well to me, and I didn't see any interest in doing it. So I'm glad I did, because this thing is a lot of fun. No, not Darth Vader. It was a little boy that was in one of the Star Wars where he was doing a power racing. Now I keep hearing about this game here, Demio. I'm not going to. Yeah, I heard that as well. I'm not going to download that until I play some of these things. So I'm playing. What's the game with it's called Headshots. Who's the guy from Cheers? Woody. Woody played in the zombie game, Zombie Land, or I think it's Zombie Land, Zombie World, whatever. It's called Zombie Land Headshot. I've been playing that quite a bit. Um, what else I've been playing? Pistol Whip. I definitely enjoy playing Pistol Whip. But I'm trying to get better with this bowling, man, because I was playing against some people. So if you guys have VR and if you have the 4 VR bowl, make sure you add me as a friend. My name is Real Detroit Love on Oculus, and let's play that bowling together. I played against people the other day, and that was pretty cool. One guy was just so good. He was got like 5 strikes in a row and just barely missed the 6th one. It's funny with bowling in real life and on this VR. I I there's 4 main scores or shots that I'm gonna do. My my most common shot is a 7. I hit it. I leave 3 pins. The 3 pins could be a whole array of different ones, but I typically would hit a 7, and then I can either pick up the spare or I'll leave one. Or I do the opposite. I do a 3. I hit the corner and I just get 3. So a 7 or 3 is the most common, and then I go wild. But from those, I deviate wildly from those two to either a strike or a gutter ball, or just a 1 pin on the corner. So I do that in real life and on this virtual thing. So I can't get too frustrated with it because that's just how it is. And I don't know if you guys know, I have a weak right eye, so I have a depth perception issue, which I thought would be a problem with that I wouldn't be able to play VR at all. That's one of the reasons I just didn't even consider doing it. And so my body primarily just uses my left eye, so I can see out my right eye. Is just if I had glasses, this one would be like about 8 times thicker than the other lens. So so I have a depth perception problem. So sometimes my left eye will lock in perfectly, and I'm right down for a strike. The next time I'm going into the gutter. So it's just pretty crazy. Um, and I have no idea what an apple pie moonshine is. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, man. Oh, I never knew that. I never knew that Anakin became Darth Vader as an adult. I never knew. See, like I told you, I didn't pay that much attention to the storyline. And every now and then, because I'm a techie, I've been able to watch whatever shows, play all the music. I did all the backdoor stuff that you could do with any technology, and so I had the opportunity to watch all of Star Wars, and I've downloaded them over the years, and said I'm gonna sit down for a weekend and watch everyone, and it just never happens. What's going on? How I'm doing? I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm glad you guys stopped by to say hello, man. I really appreciate that. Oh wow. Well, goodness, man. I'm glad you survived, man. That doesn't sound good there. I almost joined the Air Force. My older brother joined the Air Force, and he had a heck of a career. He still works for the Air Force. He's just retired from the Air Force, working as a contractor, making more money than he ever would have made working for them. But I took the test back in 85, 1985. I took the test for the Air Force. Got a great score. I think they have you come back the next day just so you don't get entrapment. Uh, you have time to consider it. And I thought about it hard, and I thought, I don't like people telling me what to do. Um, and and so I said I better take my chances out here in the civilian world and not go to the Air Force. And I've done a fantastic out here in the civilian world, and I would have done probably fantastic there as well. Um, but I didn't. I didn't want to take the chance, because I'm a little stubborn, hard head at times. Um, Okay, so what's going on out here? New comments. When I get my quest 2 this month, I will bowl with everyone. That's great, man. Definitely add me as a friend. And whenever I go, I don't know if I just go on at weird times, but whenever I go on, no one's ever on quest. They'll say someone was here um hour ago, 2 hours ago, 6 hours ago. Um yeah, thank you for your service for sure, Dick. Um oh man, so your average is 220. I think the highest I ever gotten in bowling in the real world was maybe 198. The highest I've gotten so far in this bowling game is with 141. Um, but like I said, I swing from good to terrible way too often. So if you guys want to see something funny, I am posting up my bowling session onto YouTube shortly. I just have to, get the description and everything together and get a picture or whatever. So you'll probably see that later tonight, most likely sometime tomorrow. But definitely check that out. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I had a lazy eye growing up, and I was supposed to wear my glasses and wear a patch to strengthen it. But like I said, I'm hard headed, and I don't do what I'm supposed to do sometimes, and I didn't. So, it just never got repaired. And one time, I took my daughter to the doctor, and the doctor came out, and he says, I can fix that. And he gave me his card, and I just never looked him up because it's always been that way. It's my whole life. So I hadn't really. See you later, Dick. I had never really cared that much about it to do anything about it. No one ever said you can fix it. He said he can fix it, but I don't even remember who the guy is now. But what are you talking about? For real? Okay, got dad's taxi service right. Yeah, that's hey. I am so glad my youngest daughter, who's 19, finally got her license, and they can go and do their own thing. And man, it's no. Hey, what up, you average gamer? It is it's definitely great that these kids to become independent for driving. Now I just got to get them out into their independent life. No rush. I'm enjoying time with them, but I know the day is coming. So I have the same thing you have. The can't see 3D. Yep, I can't see 3D at all. So that's why I thought maybe I wouldn't be able to see the VR. But yeah, so there's an operation they can do for the eye muscle, a high risk. Yeah, and I thought about that. I'm like, well, I don't really use it now, so is there really any risk to it? As long as they're not touching my good eye, right? But again, this is who I am. This is where I've always been, so I'm not really pressed at all. So for you latecomers, we were just talking about arcade one-ups and new countercades with the backlit marquee. I just think they should add the battery so that it could be totally battery operated and totally portable to move around. So what are you saying there, you average gamer? Yeah, thanks, man. Hey, I just drove through Cincinnati, and we were talking about the WKRP show as we drove through there, coming from Atlanta, outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Last weekend? What up, Thunderbird? Hey, Thunderbird. Now, you're the one that did the custom Donkey Kong cabinet, right? If that's the case, what's the status on that? Did you ever finish that thing? Love to see some pictures or videos. What are you saying here, your average gamer? I'm going to send you a link to show on your show. Okay, so you're going to send that in, Nick. Okay, all right. So let's see this. So let's share this. The Simpsons. Okay. Now I was just talking about, I was talking about the IRK wrestling game, and I was saying about these. Oh, so pre-orders are there. Okay, interesting. Let's just replay that. But so I've never really been a fan of the beat 'em up games. And I was talking about the alignment. I can never align up properly. But The Simpsons is one of the few beat 'em up games that I actually enjoy. So they're doing pre-orders over there. Let's take a look. Arcade. Outrun seated cabinet. I don't accept that. Now, whatever happened with Killer Instinct? We ever heard any more about that? View all machines. All right, Thunderbird. Okay, yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, well, you did a great job with your initial video. Yeah, you did a great job with that. Man, I would love to have that Donkey Kong. It's pretty sweet. So am I missing this? I'm not seeing this Simpsons. So they don't have the screen for it. Countercade. That could be the case. No, not live on the site. Yeah, but so I was saying the Simpsons is one of the few beat 'em up games that I did actually enjoy. But would I buy the cabinet? Huh. I don't think so. I don't know. I would have to talk to family. The family already they don't come down here and play many of the games to begin with. So no, okay. I played Simpsons enough. What up, Kev Grit? Didn't see you out there. Yeah, I played Simpsons enough to not have to spend 600. Yeah, no, yeah, I would buy a bowling game. If they had that Silver Strike, if they came out with the Silver Strike from Incredible, the people that make is it Incredible Machine that makes the Golden Tee. If these guys came out and Incredible Technologies, if they came out with the Silver Strike, it would be a day one purchase, day one pre-order, without a doubt. Silver Strike or nothing. That's right, Meatball. That is, they have to do that. Now that I say this about Stern. For Stern to get into a digital pinball, the digital pinball arena would not affect sales of their real pinballs in a negative way. Absolutely not. People who want the real thing is going to get it. But if they came out with virtual ones, people will buy those as well. So I think it's a no-brainer for them to do that. Likewise, with incredible technologies, um, it didn't hurt their business to do this with the Golden Tee. And it definitely won't hurt their business to come out the Silver Striker. Would only increase the awareness of their business and inspire people to buy the bigger and better systems. Oh, I've already said that. So Michael B already has a video. Of course he does. MRP Dubs, they they enjoy doing this a lot more. I enjoy doing it, but only on my time frame. Do you think Arcade One Up will add a pinball table to current gen? Will add on pinball tables to current generations? Will they add tables to the existing cabinets? Brady Goat 12? I don't think so. I don't think so. There's no motivation for them to do that. Those whatever games that they would possibly add, they would just create another table to sell. So I don't think they will. So Steven's saying that Thomas B should start a channel. So would you guys buy? Yeah, I think I did see your. I think you updated the Tron video and you sort of touched briefly on the Donkey Kong update, but it's been such a long time. But you do some great work, Thunderbird, man. I really impressed with your skills there. I definitely don't have the woodworking skills to do so, and you have to have the skills and the tools. I have the tools, some of the tools, and I've gathered more over time. I just don't have the bravery to mess with some of those tools, those saws to but it's like anything, the more you use it, the more you do it, the better, the more confident you get in it, and you do that. And I mean, likewise, I had a house previously for 18 years, and a lot of the stuff around the house I just pay people to do. And now this house I've had for like 5 years, which I built, had built. I didn't build it. I do way more things now because I, one, have the tools. Two, you have YouTube to show you how to do most things. And so I do a lot of things that I would have just not done previously. So it comes with having the tools, having the knowledge, and having the confidence to do it, right? Those three things is what makes, a lot of these things possible. If Tron comes out, I don't know. I've always liked Tron. I've never been super great with it. It's one of those games that I played primarily growing up. If one of the games that I actually wanted to play was being hogged by, because a lot of us were really good with Pac-Man, Galaga, and things like that. So if one of us was on that cabinet, you just wasn't getting on it, and so I didn't have a huge arcade for the most of the time growing up. It was at the bowling alley, which that would have maybe had 5 cabinets. Then you had the party stores that might have 2 to 3 each. So if I wasn't able to play the game that I wanted to play, I would play games like Tron and things like that. Yeah, I just even like Tempest. I played that game here and then. I pre-ordered the cab, but the Legacy, Atari Legacy, primarily for Asteroids, and I would have played the other games, but primarily for Asteroids. Tempest, I would have played every now and then, but it's not a game that I was like, "Oh, today I'm gonna get up and play Tempest." It's just not, And Tron's the same way. I I've played it on my at Games Legends Ultimate, and I got the Tron stick from Glenn Retro Show, and it definitely makes it a lot easier to play when you have the proper, you know, setup. So I would enjoy it if they made it well. If they made it well, and if they make it well, what games are they going to put with it, right? If you have this Tron stick, they would have to put like Battle Zone with 2 sticks or something. Uh, if they make the right games and they have it where those primary games play well with those controls, Crazy Climber or something like that, you know, with the dual sticks, um, I would buy it if they put the right games, not throwing on horizontal and vertical. And then, even though I just said games I just read off are a mix of those things, because Tron is vertical, right? All the other games I mentioned are landscape. So I don't know what they would have to do to make me buy it, because they would have to do it well. What did Adam X say? Right, Tron is vertical, but all the other ones that I mentioned were landscape or horizontal games. So I don't know if to keep it vertical, what would you put with Tron that's vertical as well? Because if it's just one game, I definitely won't buy it. Uh, and if it's a few games, it would have to be the right. Tron and Disc of Tron. 2 games. I don't know. Like I said, if they play, if they get the controls right and it works well, and it would, if they're only gonna have 2 games, it has to look like the original, right? And so I don't know. The price would have to be right with just 2 games. You know, $600. Someone mentioned Satan's Hollow. Boy, I used to make that, play that. That was a hard game, and Satan's Hollow, I've not been able to play on any of these other machines properly. Right? That's like a Vanguard. If you guys ever played Vanguard, I used to love Vanguard, but none of these button layouts are ideal for Vanguard. You know, so I don't get to play Vanguard. I used to love Vanguard, but would I buy a standalone Vanguard game? What would you put with it? You know, those are the type of things that to answer. And just for clarification, Friday's show I was talking about. I can't think of a game, a cabinet that they can release that I would buy. I wasn't talking about iArcade, though I don't see a need to have a second iArcade. I was talking about Arcade One Up. I don't know of what cabinet would make me buy it. But I think I've already answered that. If they came out with the Silver Strike, that would be a day one purchase. Um, Outside of that, Tron and those type of things, it wouldn't be a first day. I would have to really consider it. But even like the Star Wars, I that wasn't a day one purchase. I wasn't sold on it until I actually played it. Once I played it, I got it. You know, it's funny. You know, a lot of these images on the RetroPie has a Atari 2600. I think the other day I was playing Asteroids on from the Atari 2600. You know, because it's like in color and, you know, solid, uh, versus the vector art. Um, but I remember growing up and we got the Atari 2600 and we could finally play games at home. ColecoVision, man, those games really suck today. Um, I have very little urge to want to play those games. Back then, you played them because one, you couldn't afford to go to the arcade all the time and play those games, and they made it. Remember, Pac-Man looked so horrible on those things. Oh my god, I never got any pleasure out of playing those like Pac-Man on any of those. I remember Donkey Kong came out on ColecoVision, and oh my goodness, it was horrible. You know, I did play that a little bit, but You could go over somebody's house and play for free versus going to the arcade and playing with quarters that you didn't have. You sort of was forced to play those games. But today, I've had very little interest in in playing those games. I just haven't. I think about these arcade games: Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Popeye, all these things, Galaga. They have withstood the time. The test of time. You pick up one of those, start playing it, and it's just like you're back in the arcade. And that's a good thing. I guess if you play the Atari 2600, it's like you're back on Cloverline playing there over at cousin Joe's house. But that's just, to me, it's just not the not the doesn't have the same nostalgic value than that it did that the arcade hold. And I think I've talked about this before. We're in this age group. I'm 55, from 45 to 65. That range of people that these arcade things are fun for, and it's the nostalgic value. So I think this arcade one up, and even when you saw the baby arcade, I think those things are crucial if you're going to have this stuff live on beyond our life here, right? You know, because if they don't get new people interested in those games, then they die off with us. They'll be selling them at garage, all our stuff at garage sales if we was to expire, for ridiculously low prices because the wives have no interest in all these cabinets. Now Vectrex, I do now the Vectrex I did load that, I think, on my Galaga, the space game where you shoot it and they become little pieces and come at you. I love that game. My cousin Pedro had that, and I just was so envious. It's like, man, that was expensive. I think I was in high school when that came out, and he had that, and man, I should play that. Now, see, that was portable. Was that battery operated? Anybody remember, or did you have to plug it in? Seemed like I think it was battery operated, but I could be wrong. But that was a nice size. It sort of, I think it was about the size of these Countercades, or maybe a little smaller, a little slimmer, with a little unique shape to it. Mr. Do, I do enjoy Mr. Do. I remember that, and that one translated to that one, I think, fairly good. Zaxxon, man, I have not been able to play Zaxxon on any of these emulation systems. I used to play Zaxxon a considerable amount of time, but none of these controls feel right. I just cannot. I can't get the angle right. The 3D just, I'm crashing to walls. I don't know why I have not been able to play Zaxxon. And Super Zaxxon, I don't think I've ever played that one at the arcade, but the regular Zaxxon, I just cannot play it on any of these emulation systems and enjoy it. I really wish it was not battery. Okay. Yeah, I know he doesn't still have that, but man, that was always a cool little. I don't, and it was that cartridge base. I think you could switch out games. I only played that one game. I know he had other games. None of those games I recall or remember well. Um, so, excuse me. Yeah, like Zaxxon. And what's that? Was that the Satan's Hollow where it kept alive, alive? And you gotta get the little, shoot the little boulders, and then the little dots lights come off, and you got to try and capture those. I tried playing those on any of these emulated systems, and the controls are just, it's just so frustrating that you cannot enjoy that. What up, Jeff Rule? How you doing, brother? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Great that you guys all came out to check me out tonight. I really appreciate that. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, my cousin had that, and oh yeah, that's the game here. Alive, alive. That game you cannot play that on these emulation systems with the controls that they have now. It's just not it is not playable. So games like that, you know, if you get those, I can understand why they would only be a limited amount of games because there'd be few games that would would translate well to a Tron or Bossian or Sinistar. Yeah, it's one of those. It was definitely a Sinistar. Some of these games they've changed the names over the years. Like the one game I used to love. It was called Green Beret. It was called Russian Attack. Russian Attack. Oh man, I played so many hours of Russian Attack. And then when they came into the emulation world, they called it Green Beret. And I don't know if Green Beret was they changed it because for political reasons or whatever. They changed it at the arcades or not, or they sold it in different markets as Green Beret or Russian Tech here. But Russian Tech, man, uh, you stabbing those guys. Man, me and my buddy Sean, we played so many hours of Russian Tech. Um, and I do enjoy that on the arcade cabinets here. Um, like Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder is always so hard. That's almost I don't know which one's hard. Rolling the hardest, Rolling Thunder or the Ghosts and Ghouls or Ghouls and Goblins or whatever they've changed the names of those two games. Hey, thanks Thomas. Thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate it. It's at 10 o'clock. We're going on an hour here, but I appreciate you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Doing anything with arcade light guns? I have not. Um, I have not, and with this Oculus, man, I don't know that I would need a gun cabinet. I enjoy this, and you get to move around more, right? So I don't know that I would want a gun cabinet. But here's a few things I picked up though. I picked up this little backhand thing that makes this thing so much easier to put on. I can't put it on with this headset on. But man, it's the regular straps, but you put this piece on, and it just gives you so much stability. Then it comes with this steel plate that you can attach to a battery uh, power brick, and then it comes with the cable, and so you can plug it in to the thing there and plug a battery in, so you can extend your life. Uh, I like this headband. That's a game changer there for sure. And then I like this rubber or plastic thing that goes over that sponge that they give you. Man, that sponge gets so soaked with sweat, it's ridiculous. And if you let anybody else play your thing, you definitely don't want them to be doing it with that sponge thing. So this thing is nice because you can just wipe this off. It dries really quick, and you can just wipe it off. That's nice. And this is just a protector, just so that you don't scratch up the thing. Um, but I'm really digging this thing. Yeah, Russian attack. Yep. That's what they were saying, Russian attack, but it was rush and attack. Yeah, that face guard. So with this thing, you don't have to replace the face guard. It just inserts over and it doesn't bulge. And it also has this nose guard that sort of protects the light, keeps the light from coming through the nose thing. Even though sometimes we cheat and use that to see where we are. But you can double tap right here and they'll let you see where you are. Um, then I got these covers so it protects your lenses. Yep. So you ordered two sending light guns last year to build a dedicated. Still waiting on the hardware. Wow, that's crazy. Hey man, Daz, thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate you. You guys got to share a link with me. I'll have to come on your show. Right. Thomas B, I appreciate you coming by, man. So we're at an hour, guys. I don't know how many people came on here. I don't really get into all that. You know, I'm gonna come if if one of you guys came, I'm gonna share the information. I'm gonna talk with you. I'm gonna enjoy it. Um, I just love talking about this stuff. You know, I love hanging out with you guys. I don't get to be in the chats. Um, hey, what up, Kongs or us? How you doing, brother? I don't get to hang out in all the groups all day. Uh, I come in, peek in, see what's happening. Good night, brother. So, so Thunderbird, they were asking you have any thoughts. I know you bought the Sendin, but are you familiar with the gun for IR? What up, Jeff? Let me bring any water down here. So Jeff Thunderbird said he hasn't used either, but the gun for IR looks sweet. Having second thoughts. Yeah. See, I'm not familiar with either one. So a Thunderbird. What are you? You said you bought the two sending guns for a custom build. What are you looking to play? What's the theme of the cabinet that you would? What's the thing that you would put on the cabinet that you make? Hey Flynn, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. You definitely check out our Friday. We do a Friday live show every Friday called the Super Game Room Dudes. So definitely subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Um, I appreciate it. All right, WKRP in Cincinnati. I appreciate you, brother. Okay, okay. How was your day? Are you going to play some Pie Pecker with Jeff and I? Man, you got to send me this stuff again. Again, Pie Pecker. I you know, in summertime I have limited time indoors, and I don't know if other people are like this, but until my mind clicks on what Pie Pecker is, um, the interest level is just going to be so low because I haven't seen much about it. I haven't touched it until I put my hands on it. It just doesn't mean a whole lot. So just keep doing what you're doing, keep sharing information, and once I get to play with it, then the just like this Oculus, right? My brother told me about it a year ago, and he didn't sell me on it. He told me about it. It was like, oh, you can watch Netflix and look like you're in the theater. I'm like, oh, okay. I watch Netflix now and I'm perfectly fine the way it is. But I get what he's saying, but it wasn't enough for me to go out and buy it. But I just had to make that connection for it to make sense. So Thunderbird said he's going to buy that the other light gun to compare. Yeah, the aim track. Again, the only experience I had with the light guns was that horrible thing I bought from Amazon, where you had to have this device like 6 feet from the TV, and you had to be 6 feet from it, and it was just awful experience. Um, oh, VR, yeah, it's. I haven't done any of the driving games on the VR, and I've looked for a few flight simulators, but I haven't found anything that really clicked. But Darian, what driving games are you doing on the VR? What is your favorite four-player Super NES game? I don't know. Like I said, I'm you know the console games. Now remember, I'm 55. The console games when they came out, I had I can't remember now if my next door neighbor, we both had each system. So one of us had Super NES, the other one had the Sega, and we were both at each other's place all the time playing between the games. Um, I don't really remember too many four-player games because most of the things I did was either solo or with him. So I didn't really play a whole lot of four-person games that I'm aware of on Super NES. Um, so I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you what my favorite game. I played a lot of Madden, I played a lot of hockey, which in the real world, I've taken one of my youngest son to a hockey game. Way too fast at the real game for me to keep up with everything. I'd rather watch on TV where I can get replays. Um, but I love playing the hockey on back on the day on the, it was either Super NES or Sega. I'm pretty sure it was Sega because Sega was more into the sporting games. Okay, so you also have an Oculus Quest. Yeah, make sure you add me as a friend. I'm a real Detroit Love on Oculus. Um, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I, I don't know. Again, I didn't play a whole lot of shoot 'em light guns on at the arcade. One because I had a family by that time, and I didn't play a whole lot of games that didn't take a quarter or 50 cent. Once you start getting to the dollars, that's why I didn't have a whole lot of experience with the driving games, with the light gun games, and those things because uh, I had a family to raise, and by the time I was taking them to Chuck E. Cheese and Caesar Land, all that stuff, and so the games there were totally different than the ones that you were playing, that you guys were playing, that didn't have kids, right? Uh, so I sort of got sidetracked from that era of arcade games, um, where it took. And I never was a fan of Dave and Buster's, where you had those cars where they purposely put the game is 33.61 credits, and just to make you always have to come back and put more credits to round up or try to round up the credits that was on the car. I was never a fan of that stuff. Um so so all that stuff is new, and so I would have to really see those games in action and how they play, uh which is Star Wars was kind of that same thing. I have to see those things before I can jump on it, because I'm not like Michael B and P Dubs where they just buy everything. I just don't have any interest in that. Even though I have the room to buy it and I have the resources to buy everything, I have just always been a practical techie. I never had to have the first of this or I didn't have to have each new year of this phone and that type of thing. I just never was. I've always been very practical in my decision makings on how I spend my money on the technology, um, and I buy the tech of what I'm going to use. That's just where I've always been. I don't buy it just to be the first to have it or to say I have it. I buy what I'm actually going to use and enjoy using. So if I don't feel that, that I'll do that and use it and need it, then I just won't buy it. That's just where I've always been. I will. I will. Um, like I said, summer times is just difficult. It's just difficult because I'm usually outside all the time, and so I'm out in the sun. I'm riding my bike. I'm flying my drone. I'm on the kayak. I'm doing stuff, and so the sun drains you. So once I get into the house, I'm usually falling out exhausted. So um, the only reason why I'm even available tonight, is because me and my wife normally do our Sam's Club run stuff on Saturdays, and we didn't do that. We did it today, and so that's why the day just sort of escaped from me. I didn't do what I normally would do on a Sunday. I just hung out with them. But yesterday, um, because we didn't do that, because I slept in Friday, I hung out with those guys, and um, I slept in Saturday like crazy. So I don't think I got up until 11. But I tried out my smoker. I bought this new grill. I think it's Grill Master smoker, and that's my first time using a smoker. That thing was awesome, awesome. I love that thing, and so I'll definitely be doing that. So that's what's good, man. That smoker makes some good chow. I cooked in some sausage, my daughter. I got it going, and my daughter actually cooked the food, but she did sausages and baked potatoes and something else I can't remember. But that smoker just really, um, it really works. I'm a charcoal guy. I'm not a propane guy. I'm a charcoal guy, but I've been trying to. My daughters are just learning to use those things. They're 22 and 19, and my wife always wants to use the lighter fluid, and so I'm showing them how to get the coals going without using those chemicals. Um, and the same way with lighting the fire on the fire pit. Show them how to do it with no accelerants. But yeah, I'm all about practicality, man. Uh, what up, Stardust? What up, Zodiac? Yeah, that was the first time we did the grill, because we've had the regular grill, charcoal griller, and I just put that in the garage. I'm not ready. I didn't want to get rid of it until I see how the smoker works. And man, that smoker cooked that stuff great, and it's not right above the fire. Because my daughter started off the sausages right above the fire in that little small section, and the fire started coming up, and I said, put over in the smoker side, and it finished them up. Awesome. And so um, I think I'll sit that charcoal grill one out on the curb, and somebody will pick it up. Um, I haven't used that. I haven't had any green chili stew. Is it delicious? I'm a real chili fan. I'm not a fan of super hot stuff, peppers and chilies that are super hot. I like some of those sausages my daughter bought. They're just hot for the sake of being hot, and doesn't have a taste. There's no taste. The taste is just hot. The taste is just fire. I'm not a fan of that stuff. That stuff drives me crazy. They buy the chicken that's hot, super hot chicken. I'm like, I don't taste any chicken. I can't even taste this. This could be wood I'm eating, just firewood. It's just hot for the sake of being hot. That's just crazy. Yep, that's who I am. So you're saying your average gamer, you're saying that chili is delicious? Chili with potatoes, tomatoes, steak, spices, and a slow cooker. Oh, that sounds delicious. What up, P Dubs? Thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Heartburn vacation fun. Yeah, man. I do not like my wife likes the Thai food and stuff like that. Uh, if I'll go with her because she likes to go there, but I get mine either with no spice or mild. But mild is just a pinch, and some people have a big old giant thumb. Andre the giant thumb when they do a pinch. Sometimes I'm like, that's not mild. That's medium plus. You know. What are you doing up, P Dubs? How's Are you, I'm assuming you're back home now. Definitely praying for the family, your mom, and everybody. Man, it's a tough time. I know. P Dubs is in the house on a rare live show from D Love. But yeah, we're over an hour, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Are you still in Tennessee? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, you did say you're going in the morning. Yeah, guys. So, um, what's that? Oh yeah, man. But I never get any heartburn or anything like that. It's just it just doesn't taste good. It just doesn't taste good when it's just flame. You know. Yeah, I've never had any problem with like heartburn or any of that type of stuff. It's just um, I like flavor. I like flavor, man. And that hot stuff, whether it's Thai food or the spicy chicken from Cajun Joe's, or those sausages where it's the hot thing. It's just I don't taste anything but hot. Right? Yeah, you can't. You definitely don't want to drink any like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, man. That would change it to fire for sure. Are you excited for Loki next week? Disney. Well, Hollywood, what do you always talk about this cough thing? Uh, I have no idea what you're talking about, to be honest with you. What up? What up? What are the games? Is Family Guy? Is that a table that's for the UAG tournaments? I have not. You see, my brother from another mother um, don't invite me to the show anymore, so I don't get to hear about all these things. Cause like I said, I'm not in the groups like you guys are all day every day. So unless somebody sends me a reminder, I'm not gonna know about this stuff because, like I said, I'm just not in the house that way in the summertime. So definitely send me links if I'm available. I'll jump on. If I'm not, don't be offended because I'm probably out and about doing something crazy. But yeah, definitely share the links. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I'll definitely have to check it out because I do like to when I do come in out the sun and cool off. I usually come down here to the cave. I'll throw on a movie or so. Um, what I just watched today, old movie. Um, I don't know why I cannot remember. Even when I was searching for it, I was having a hard time. It's the movie where the guy had lost his job. He got a divorce from his wife and daughter, and he was in the car, and he just gets out the car and starts walking to go. He says home, but it's not his home anymore because he's divorced from his wife, and she don't want him to come there. And then he's like getting into all this trouble um, as he tries to walk from his abandoned car to his wife's house, ex-wife's house, estranged wife's house. Um, so I watched that movie today. I tried to watch it last night, but I was knocked out, so I kept falling asleep on it. So I had to finish it today. Falling Down. Yep, Falling Down. That movie is just wild. So I do like to come in out the sun and catch a good movie through the summer. Sometimes I watch out there. I have a nice spot in the back. There's a tree line that I put up my brain is getting sleepy here. The hammock. I put up the hammock and I'll watch, things on my iPad, watch movies on Netflix or Prime. That way I get to stay outside and be cool, I'll do that. Yep, you're right. It was falling down. That game is pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. What's all these lies there, your average gamer? You talking about you don't give me any links to the show or links to the tournament? I don't even know what tables. Every time you usually suggest a table that's on sale, so we can save some money. So I always appreciate that. Um, yep, Michael Douglas falling down. So Zodiac, you're like my brother in outside of St. Louis. He's studying to get his remote pilot, the UAS certificate. Again, I'm the troublemaker. I'm not going to do that. I was up like, I can't say how far I was up. And he was like, you're not supposed to go that high. And I told him, I said, when you get your certificate, just make a copy for me because we look and sound similar. So I'll be a pilot on his pilot license. Of course, he won't do that, but he's studying to do that. He's encouraging me to do that. Yeah. Let me know how you do, and I'll let you know how he does. But that is the right way to do it. All right, guys, I am going to call it a night. I appreciate you guys. I'll definitely take a look at that Thor Loki movie. Thor, I think Thor came out the year I was born in the comics. It was introduced in the comics. So I've always liked. He came out right after Spidey. Spidey's always been my primary superhero that I really like. Thor, I don't have any. I've never had anything against it or for it. I used to enjoy watching the cartoon back in the day, but I'll have to check it out. All right, man. Good night, everybody. I appreciate you. Make sure you check out my bowling video. I'll put that up either most likely tomorrow sometime. It should be pretty funny. I'm horrible. And until next time, guys, I'll see you on the web.